In this video, I'm going to discuss the one mindset shift that changed absolutely everything for me in tech sales, that has allowed me to quickly become a top performer at my company, promote quickly, make more money than I could ever imagine, and honestly be happier than I could ever imagine and be in complete control of my career. Now listen, I have absolutely nothing to sell you. I truly want you to grasp the concepts that I'm about to give you in this video because it changed everything for me. I truly believe it can do the exact same thing for you. So listen closely, listen carefully, and let me know if you agree with what I'm about to say. So that being said, I am a huge sports fan. I've got Florida Gator stuff all over my wall. I'm addicted to sports. I'm always watching something sports related. I love, especially the Gators. Go Gators. That being said, for years, ever since I was grown in a degree, I've always thought to myself, and watching really good players, I've thought, man, the entire world is in front of them. Young players, especially like college or young NFL players or NBA, whatever league. I've always thought they have the entire world ahead of them. They're blessed athletically. They're blessed physically. They're put in the right position. I look at these people who are 6'5", 250 pounds, great muscle, great genetics, who have really just worked hard. And I've thought, man, the world is in front of them. They can make as much money as they want to make. They're in complete control of their legacy. The whole world is at their fingertips. And for most people, we're not gifted that same mindset or that same availability. I'm 5'11", I'm like 200 pounds. I'm not going to make it in the NFL. I'm not going to make it in the NBA. I can't hit a baseball. I can't hit a golf ball. I can't do any of that. And so none of that, all of that was off the table for me. But I would literally look at these players who were just so physically gifted, and I would say, you have the entire world in front of you. But what happens is, some players, they take advantage of it, and they train, they do everything they can, they're very focused. And those are the players you see excel and succeed. And then it's almost heartbreaking. You see these other players who, they're physically gifted. They have an insane amount of potential, but they're lazy. They can't control what they eat. They go out and drink too much. They don't train hard enough. They take way too much time off. And because of that, these players fall off. These players who have the ability to be some of the most successful people in the world, make more money than 99.9% of the world, and they don't do it just because they're lazy, just because they don't have it all together up here. And I've always told myself, if I were ever in their position, I would do everything I can to be successful. I'd work out twice a day. My diet would be on point. I'd hire as many trainers as I need. I would do literally everything. I would wake up, work all day, work out. I would do everything I needed to do in order to put myself in a position to be successful. And it's so heartbreaking because so many players, so many young people, they just don't do it. Tech sales is extremely, extremely similar. Let me explain. So the world is literally at your fingertips in tech sales. There are a lot of people who make millions of dollars in tech sales. There are a lot of people who make over $500,000 a year in tech sales. Most people in tech sales are making a bare minimum $100,000 a year. I did my very first year. So the income potential and progression is out of this world. It's similar to the path of a doctor, the path of some lower level professional players. It is literally a very similar income path. And so before I even got into tech sales, I saw all these people who were making a ton of money. And instead of thinking, oh, that's fake, oh, that's not real, instead, I was like, you know what, that probably is real. I think I can achieve that myself if I work as hard as I can. And I looked and I said, you know what, if other people are achieving that and making this much money, I know that I can too. So I got into tech sales, made over $100,000 my very first year, was a top producer at my company, set more meetings, booked more appointments than everybody else in my company from day one. And my mindset was, listen, the world is at my fingertips. I'm not athletically gifted. I'll never be an athlete, unfortunately, but I'm in a very similar situation. I'm in a career that can allow me to make $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, $300,000 a year, whatever that may be. I'm in a position where that can be my reality. I can make as much money as a doctor who has to go to school for a decade. I can make as much money as them just by working as hard as I can day in and day out and being extremely hyper-focused and laser-focused. So I knew I was in a position that maybe an athlete would be in. The world is at my fingertips. If I work as hard as I can get there. And if you're watching this video, that can be you as well. And I will explain why. In tech sales, there's this 80-20 rule, which means about 80% of a company's revenue or meetings booked come from 20% of their employees, which means if you're in the top 20%, you're making a lot more money than all the other employees. Your success is much higher. Your results are much higher. You're doing a lot better. So how do you get into that top 20%? What is the difference from this 20% and this 80%? It's nothing crazy. It has nothing to do with where you live. It has nothing to do with how educated you are. It has very little to do with anything like that. What it does have to do with is work ethic. You know, the successful people, they're over here. They know, hey, I'm going to wake up an hour early. I'm going to wake up 2 hours early. I'm going to send out as many emails as I can do. They're going to all be personalized. I'm going to cold call as much as I can today. Every single day, I'm going to look for 10 new people that would be really good meetings, and I'm going to try to get a meeting with them. I'm not going to try to work the bare minimum and just work 4 hours a day or 2 hours a day. I'm not going to just do 50 random emails, call it a day, and collect my paycheck, which is what a lot of tech employees do, unfortunately. So those are the successful people, and if that's something that would be of interest to you, and you think you could work hard and you could do that, then you can be in that top 20%. The other 80%, the ones who I attribute to the lazy athletes who the world was in front of them, they had all the potential, it was given to them and they just didn't accept it. Those are the employees who they take off every few days. They just send emails only because they know they're supposed to. They only do cold calls because they know they have a bare minimum of number that they need to hit, and they just want to hit that so they don't get fired. They sleep in, they take naps twice a day, they go out to eat during the middle of the day, and they stay out and they go shopping all in the middle of the workday. Stuff like that. You can see a clear difference between the top 20% and the lower 80%. And so, to be in that top 20%, you are similar to those athletes who pan out. Everything works for them. They were given a good situation. They were able to go make millions of dollars, control their legacy. The whole entire world is in front of them. Not only because they were gifted an amazing opportunity, but they actually did something with it. And that is what I think of when I think of tech sales and my work ethic and my motivation. I know if I work as hard as I can every single day, $300,000 a year is not impossible to hit. $250,000 a year is not impossible to hit. $500,000 a year is not impossible. $1 million a year is not impossible. All of that is extremely possible, and I would even say expected for a top performer. If you're working as hard as you can day in and day out, and you know and you go into it with the mindset, I'm going to do absolutely everything I can to be as successful as possible. That's the mindset that I have that has allowed me to attack tech sales every single day, be a top performer at my company, make more money than I could have ever imagined, and it's just that simple mindset shift. I have been given an awesome opportunity, and I can completely control my future. I can completely control my future with how hard I work. And if I want to be the ones that are making $300,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, I'm going to put in the work every single day. I'm going to practice twice a day. My diet's going to be on point. My nutrition's going to be on point. I'm going to be studying. I'm going to be doing everything it takes to put me at the top of my game. Because I have the ability to do so. I have the capability to do so. Versus the lazy employees who are like the lazy athletes who the whole world was in front of them, but it just never panned out. So the beauty of that is most tech sales people are on this lazy side of things. They were able to work from home. Their boss isn't following them around all day. They aren't controlled, that they have bare minimum numbers they have to hit. That's what most people in tech sales do, unfortunately. So the beauty of that is, by you turning the corner and you being the person who's going to always make more calls than someone else, who will send more emails, who will find more prospects, who will do everything in their power to be successful, you will quickly rise to the top. You will quickly rise your income, and you will progress quicker than these other people. You will pan out quicker than these people. You will make a lot more money. And that is my mindset. That is the mindset that has allowed me to completely control my income, my career progression, and my life to a degree. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, drop them below. But I promise you, ask yourself, if I was given everything in the world and the whole possibilities, and I had endless possibilities in front of me, would I take advantage of that? And of course you would. Tech sales is that opportunity. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you get value out of this video. I'll talk to you soon.